Tonight, you are not simply falling asleep, you are stepping into a sacred chamber where your mind will be shaped, your beliefs will be rewritten, and your future will begin its silent construction. What you allow into your mind before slumber determines what awakens in your life. This speech is not casual noise. It is a builder of destinies. Do not take this moment lightly. As you close your eyes, I will speak directly to the hidden architect within you, your subconscious mind. And what I speak, if you permit it, will take root. As you sleep, this speech will go to work. It will plant wealth. It will plant belief. It will plant definiteness of purpose and the bold courage to act. What do you desire? A house free from debt, a fortune that multiplies in silence, the freedom to awaken when you choose, not when an alarm demands? Do you dream of owning your own enterprise, commanding your own time, and being the source of security for those you love? Then listen, not as one who wishes, but as one who decides. This very night your mind shall be fed riches. You may not see it yet, but if you persist in hearing this message, if you give yourself wholly to its repetition, your beliefs will shift. And when your beliefs shift, so does your identity. And when your identity changes, the world bows to you as a master, not a beggar. The law is simple. What you think of most with faith becomes your reality. What you hear most with emotion becomes your nature. Tonight I offer you not mere advice, but a system of reconditioning. Repetition is the tool. Faith is the fire. And the subconscious mind is the field where your fortune is sown. This is not entertainment. This is education for your deeper self. The words I speak tonight are seeds. They may feel invisible, but let a week pass, a month pass, and you will awaken to a new thought, a new strength, a new opportunity. You will not know where it came from, but I will tell you, it was planted tonight. You must listen regularly. This message is to be repeated night after night until you no longer recognize the old version of yourself. Do not question the soil. Do not pluck the seed to see if it grows. Let it work. Trust the law. Speak the affirmations with feeling. And above all, believe that you are worthy of the wealth you seek. This is your sacred hour. Speak nothing negative before you sleep. Hear nothing vague. Do not entertain fear, criticism, or complaint. Only truth shall enter your mind now. Only purpose, only power, only wealth. You are not falling asleep. You are installing a new self, and that self shall rise wealthy. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, and what it repeats, it installs. This is not poetry, it is law. The same way a farmer repeats the tilling of soil before the crop appears, you must till the fields of your mind with repetition, with belief, and with purpose, especially as you sleep. The subconscious mind never closes its doors. While your eyes shut and your body rests, your deeper self remains alert, obedient, absorbing. It is listening to the last thoughts you feed it. It is shaping them, multiplying them, giving them direction, and it does not discriminate. It will act on whatever is planted, truth or lie, riches or ruin. So I warn you, as your guide, if you retire each night in worry, fear, confusion, or complaint, you are feeding poison into the workshop of your destiny. You are commanding the very force that builds your future to construct failure. And it will obey, without judgment, without question. It will serve the master you choose to be. But if instead you begin tonight to fall asleep with courage in your chest, faith in your belly, and purpose in your voice, you will command the subconscious to build in your favor. For it is not fate that determines your wealth. It is your repeated thought, charged with belief, handed to your deeper mind with feeling. This is the sacred science of autosuggestion. You suggest what to think. You suggest what to feel. and the subconscious receives it, works upon it, acts upon it, and delivers it back to you as circumstance, condition, and opportunity. It will carry out whatever order you feed it, especially that which is fed repeatedly and with emotion. There is no magic here, only natural law. The same law that builds muscle through repeated motion, builds fortune through repeated thought. That which is impressed upon the mind with belief and persistence becomes fact. Just as surely as the sun rises in the east, your repeated thought becomes your outer reality. Therefore, I tell you, listen to this nightly. Not as a man seeking inspiration, but as one training an army. Your inner army of belief, vision, and courage. Every word you hear is a brick in the foundation of your fortune. Every phrase is a nail driving a new command into the subconscious engine of your life. You are not wasting time by hearing this again and again. You are building the scaffolding of your future. You are laying mental highways upon which wealth will travel to reach you. As surely as a bridge must be constructed before a carriage crosses it, your mind must be structured before riches can arrive. This process is not passive. Though you are resting, your inner self must be alert. Surrender to these words, not in laziness, but in cooperation. Just as a skilled builder follows the blueprint with precision, your mind must follow the voice of definiteness, prosperity, and faith as it is spoken to you now. Thomas Edison did not stumble upon genius by accident. He prepared his mind each evening with the problems he sought to solve. He expected answers, and those answers arrived, not in waking hours, but in dreams, in flashes, in moments of calm when the subconscious was working undisturbed. He did not doubt, he expected. So tonight, do as Edison did. Hand your problem, your desire, your question to your deeper self. Then fall asleep with belief. Let your subconscious work as you rest. Expect ideas. Expect guidance. Expect strength to follow through. Expect favor from infinite intelligence itself. You are training the worker beneath your conscious mind. He is tireless. He is faithful, but he is without judgment. Feed him poison, and he will construct misery. Feed him purpose, and he will construct wealth. You are the architect. You are the instructor, and you are responsible. Hear these words again. Let them seep into your soul. I am the master of my destiny. My thoughts shape my future. I command wealth to come to me through faith, through decision, and through persistent repetition. Say it aloud. Whisper it if you must. Let it echo in the chamber of your mind. This is not one night's work. It is not a magic lamp. It is the daily command of a commander who refuses to drift. You must persist. You must condition the mind daily. And you must believe that what you impress tonight will express tomorrow or the next day or the day after that. Fall asleep now, not as a victim of chance, but as the builder of your fortune. Do not carry complaint to bed. Do not rehearse failure. Do not recount the opinions of doubters. Instead, place your faith on the pillow beside you, wrap yourself in definiteness, and surrender your will to right thought. You have already planted a seed, and with this message you water it. With faith you warm it. With repetition you grow it. And soon, if you do not break the cycle, you will reap a harvest greater than your old self dared to imagine. That is not a promise. That is law. Now, as you drift, do not drift as a coward. Drift as a commander. Drift as one who is deciding what your life shall be. Drift with the firm knowledge that as you sleep, something greater than you is working on your behalf, guided by your faith, your repetition, and your decision to never return to the old way again. There is no mystery here. Repetition is the great law of mental fertility. What you repeat, you believe. What you believe, you become. And what you become is what the world reflects back to you. The man who repeats fear becomes afraid. The man who repeats courage becomes unstoppable. And the man who repeats wealth becomes rich. This is not theory. It is observable. It is practical. It is the silent sculptor behind every fortune and every failure. A man does not rise by one thought, one decision, or one prayer. He rises by the daily conditioning of his mind in the direction of power. The mind, like a muscle, must be trained through repetition. The universe is governed by law, not luck, and one of those laws is called cosmic habit force. It is invisible, but it is binding. It works on all men equally. It makes permanent that which is repeated. It installs into your mental machinery the ideas you dwell upon most, whether good or evil, faith or fear, riches or lack. You cannot escape this law. You can only obey it or violate it. When you obey it consciously, it serves you. When you ignore it, it serves your fears. It gives permanency to your dominant thought. Therefore, if your dominant thought is doubt, it will fix it in your mind until you see doubt in every opportunity. If your dominant thought is faith, it will fix it in your spirit until you meet life with calm power. If your dominant thought is wealth, then wealth shall take root in your identity and begin to pull its physical equivalent into your world. What you rehearse, you repeat. What you repeat, you install. What you install, you become. You must understand this. Your outer world is the matured harvest of your inner thought garden. Every condition in your present life was once a seed of belief, planted by thought, watered by repetition, and hardened by emotion. Most men do not plant deliberately. They allow weeds to grow, and then they ask, "Why am I poor?" They forget the answer lies in the thoughts they repeated for years. Money is hard. I'm not lucky. People like me don't get rich. These are not harmless phrases. These are the repeated commands that their subconscious received and obeyed. And no amount of wishing will undo what habit has installed. No wealth may come permanently except that which is first built through a pattern of inner belief and repeated command. You must build the inner castle before the world allows you to possess the outer one. This is why I command you to listen nightly. You are reconstructing the architecture of your identity. You are laying bricks made of thought. Do not be like most men who install fear, install indecision, install vague desires, and then ask why poverty haunts them. They do not realize they are the ones who authorized its construction. They allowed failure to take root through repetition. They became what they rehearsed. But you tonight will build differently. You will install faith. You will install wealth. You will install courage. And you will do so silently, powerfully, through repeated hearing. Your mind shall be your temple, and no false god of doubt shall enter. Your thoughts will serve you, or you will replace them. Consider Andrew Carnegie, the great steel magnate. He did not think as other men thought. He trained his mind daily to dwell on fortune, on service, on industry, and on the power of men united by purpose. His belief became stronger than all opposition. His habits of thought were not accidental. They were designed. He would not tolerate any idea that contradicted his vision. He expelled negative conversation. He refused weak associations. He did not accept lack as a final verdict. He believed wealth was a duty, a calling to serve, to lead, to build. And that belief, repeated daily, became his identity. His identity attracted the fortune. You must now do the same. Every night as you listen, you must feel these truths sink deeper into your inner self. You must fall asleep with the quiet certainty that your thoughts are constructing a mansion of power. You may not see the walls rise yet, but they are being laid, stone by stone, by the mason of repetition. And I give you the tools to build. Say them internally, whisper them, shout them within. But do not let these words pass by without being claimed. I am the master of my thoughts. I create wealth through belief and action. Infinite intelligence guides my steps and supplies my needs. I am building a wealthy identity every day, every night, without fail. Repeat them. Feel them. Let them echo in your sleep. Let them be louder than your doubts. Let them overwhelm every weak belief you once carried. For it is only by repetition that the old man is buried and the new man rises. There is no replacement for discipline, no substitute for persistent planting. You must water the mind with these words until they become natural, until you no longer reach for them, they come to you. Until you no longer try to believe them, you are them. Fall asleep with discipline and awaken to miracles. The man who governs his nighttime thought becomes the ruler of his waking world. You are not passive. You are planting. You are feeding your field with wealth-conscious seed. You are tilling the soil of your destiny with your own hands. Now rest, not as a beggar, but as a builder. A drifting mind is a doomed mind. A man without a purpose is a ship without a rudder, tossed about by wind, ruled by current, prey to every storm. But the man who knows what he wants and claims it boldly, he is magnetic. His thoughts are concentrated. His steps are directed. His presence is commanding, and success moves toward him without hesitation. Definiteness of purpose is not a luxury. It is the very foundation of all achievement. The mind craves direction. Without it, it wanders into fear, confusion, indecision, and waste. But once you give the mind a single, dominant, clearly envisioned aim, it begins to awaken powers that slept for years. It begins to burn away the fog of drifting. Drifting is the devil's playground. Definite thought is God's workshop. When your mind has no chief aim, it becomes the target of fear, of criticism, of suggestion by the mediocre. But the definite man becomes immune to suggestion. He thinks, he acts, he commands, he decides, he expects, he achieves, and the world follows him. Now I ask you, what do you want? Say it, write it, declare it. Let no vague wish remain in your mind. Is it freedom from employment? Is it the creation of a business? Is it the ownership of land, of property, of riches to be passed down for generations? Is it the power to bless your family, to give, to create, to build? Then name it, claim it, state it aloud, feel it, demand it, repeat it until it is fixed in your identity. The man who is definite may be resisted temporarily, but he is never defeated. Life bends to the man who bends his mind toward a single desire, held with faith and reinforced by persistent thought. You must now install that image. And not as a vague hope, but as a living command. Every night as you drift to sleep, you must see your aim, picture it, hear the sounds it brings, smell the scent of success, touch the walls of your vision, taste the reward in advance. This is not delusion. It is construction. Do as my friend Barnes once did. He wished not merely to work for Thomas Edison, he wished to become his partner. He did not ask for a job, he demanded an opportunity. He carried that image in his mind so strongly, so repeatedly, that it became more real than the poverty in his pocket. And eventually Edison saw it too. Barnes had nothing but desire and definiteness. That was enough. He did not drift. He did not listen to doubt. He declared what he would be, and he backed it with faith, persistence, and the repeated image of success. What he believed, he achieved. Because he would not accept any alternative, he was deaf to all suggestion but his own. So now I give you a nightly ritual. Take your definite chief aim and write it with your own hand. Do not print it, write it. This binds the thought with motion and emotion. Then speak it aloud. Speak it slowly. Speak it with faith. And as you fall asleep, let the sound of it echo in your inner chamber. Hear it whispered within. I am moving daily toward my definite purpose with unshakable faith. The means will appear because I have committed to the end. Say it until it feels natural. Say it until your subconscious accepts it as a command from headquarters. Say it until doubt dies and belief becomes your new atmosphere. You must understand, every repetition carves a groove in your inner mind. Every spoken affirmation is a chisel, and with each night, you shape a deeper channel for wealth to flow. If you skip one night, return the next. If you feel nothing at first, continue. The seed is invisible at first, but the harvest will come, and this is no game. This is not motivational whim. This is mental craftsmanship. This is the science of personal power. The subconscious mind will obey the loudest voice. If the loudest voice is television, gossip, or fear, it will obey that. If the loudest voice is your chief aim, backed by repetition and faith, it will obey that. Make sure that voice is definiteness, not doubt. Wealth does not belong to the most gifted. It belongs to the most definite. Fortune does not follow talent. It follows clarity. And clarity comes from discipline, from faith, from daily inner work. And that work begins now, tonight, as you plant the image, speak the affirmation, and fall asleep in command. Do not permit even one thought of vagueness to remain. Know what you want. Know why you want it. Know how you will feel when it is yours. And feed that picture into your subconscious every night until your very cells begin to expect it, until the world itself begins to move toward you like metal toward a magnet. You are not merely hoping anymore. You are ordering. You are commanding. You are instructing the invisible powers that shape your future. You are declaring, "This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I shall receive." Not from arrogance, but from faith in the law that governs all growth. Now take one breath, see your goal, hear your voice, feel your command, and let that image drift into sleep with you. Let it settle into the depths of your mind. Let it be carried down into your subconscious, where all real power begins. Tonight, you do not drift aimlessly. You drift with direction. You drift with authority. You drift with the mind of a commander, and what you repeat tonight with definiteness and belief will become the foundation of your fortune. The subconscious mind is the faithful servant of your dominant thought. It does not reason. It does not challenge. It does not debate. It obeys, and it obeys completely. It is the invisible hand that shapes your future, taking instruction from whatever you allow to dominate your inner conversation. And this includes what you think, say, feel, and repeat, especially as you sleep. The subconscious mind is your link to infinite intelligence. It is the gateway through which hunches arrive, through which solutions form, through which wealth flows when commanded rightly. You do not control infinite intelligence, but you do influence it. And the tool of that influence is your subconscious mind, trained by belief, repetition, and emotion. If you do not instruct your subconscious, others will. They will do so through newspapers, through gossip, through complaint, through fear, through television, through conversation filled with doubt. The world is loud with suggestion, and most of it is poison. The man who does not guard his mind is a man whose future is written by strangers. The subconscious mind will not remain idle. It is always at work. It is always building. And it will feed on whatever you plant or what others throw in. It is a builder without conscience. It builds both palaces and prisons depending on the blueprint. And the blueprint is the repeated thought backed by belief. The nighttime hour is golden. It is the hour of greatest influence. It is the hour when conscious resistance fades and the subconscious opens its doors. It is the hour when what is heard sinks deeper, settles further, and begins to root itself into your very identity. This is why you must be intentional with every word you hear before sleep. Repetition with feeling is the tool. Faith is the fuel, decision is the fire, and emotion is the glue. These are the ingredients of change. These are the materials with which you construct a new inner man. And from that inner man, a new outer world shall follow. You must become deliberate in your inner conditioning. This is the sacred art of autosuggestion, the daily feeding of the subconscious with hand-picked thoughts, repeated with intensity and accepted with feeling. You may call it programming. You may call it impressing. The name is not the power. The power is in the repetition backed by belief. Henry Ford is proof of this law in motion. He was not considered intelligent by the world. He was mocked by the educated. His ideas were ridiculed, yet he moved forward. Why? Because his belief was more definite than their doubt. He repeated his inner picture of what must be until no argument could take it from him. Engineers told him it could not be done. He said it would be done, and they did it. Not because they believed, but because he did. His subconscious mind had already accepted the image. The outer world was forced to comply. Such is the power of repeated belief made definite through persistence. Now I give you your own commands. Say them with your mind. Repeat them silently. Let them enter your inner workshop. Let them settle beneath your thoughts. Whisper them if you wish, but do not let them pass without feeling. I plant the seed of wealth every night. It is growing, even while I sleep. Nothing enters my mind unless I permit it. I choose faith. I choose wealth. My subconscious obeys me because I train it daily with belief and repetition. You must not waver. You must not skip nights. This is not entertainment. This is identity construction. And identity is not built by inspiration. It is built by instruction, repeated instruction, faithful repetition, and the refusal to allow negative suggestion to enter your sacred chamber of mind. The subconscious will carry out whatever you accept. If you feed it images of poverty, it will create conditions of poverty. If you feed it beliefs of power, it will create expressions of power. If you speak wealth, it will begin to summon the means, but only if the command is repeated with faith. No man becomes rich by accident. He becomes rich by subconscious direction. The conscious mind decides what to feed. The subconscious mind decides how to grow it. But both must cooperate. Both must work in harmony. The farmer cannot control the growth, but he can control the seed, the water, the rhythm of planting. So plant wisely, speak wisely, listen nightly, and never again permit complaint or fear to be your lullaby. Let faith be your nighttime companion. Let definiteness be your closing thought. Let repetition do its silent work as you rest with the awareness that something far greater is now working beneath your surface. Tonight, let this truth rest deep within you. The man who commands his subconscious commands his world. And the man who repeats the right idea with faith becomes the master of his conditions. Sleep not in confusion, but in clarity. Sleep not in fear, but in power. Sleep not in doubt, but in direction. You are not weak. You are not a victim. You are not at the mercy of outer events. You are powerful beyond measure because you are capable of choosing what to believe and repeating it until your very cells respond to the new law. And you begin tonight, not by effort, but by surrender to right repetition. Drift now into sleep, not as a man who waits, but as a man who commands. And may your subconscious carry out your orders with full obedience, building your new life as you rest. Wealth cannot grow where fear is planted. Riches do not abide in a heart ruled by dread. The mind that harbors fear is like a field overrun by weeds, choking out the harvest before it rises. The subconscious will not question your fears. It will accept them as orders, and it will build your world according to the blueprint you hand it. Be it faith or fright, tonight we begin the removal. For too long, fear has slept beside you. It has whispered in your ear as you drifted. It has told you lies in the voice of reason. It has called itself protection, safety, caution. But it is the enemy, and it must be expelled. There is no compromise. Wealth and fear cannot share the same bed. There are 6 ghosts, 6 invisible forces that haunt the minds of men and turn dreams to dust. They are the fear of poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. These 6 form a prison without bars, because the bars exist within the mind, and each night you entertain them, you renew their power. But I tell you now, you have the authority to cast them out. The man who governs his thoughts may evict any ghost, and he begins by naming it, confronting it, and replacing it. He refuses to allow fear to disguise itself as logic. He sees it plainly, and once he sees it, he defeats it by decision. Fear cannot dwell in a mind that is full of definiteness, faith, and right action. These 3 are your weapons. They are spiritual in nature, but they are practical in power. They drive out confusion. They uproot fear at the root. and they leave in its place a firmness of purpose that no ghost dares challenge. Fear is the devil's whisper. Faith is the voice of infinite intelligence. When you hear fear telling you to hesitate, to wait, to doubt, it is the enemy speaking. And it must be silenced, not with passivity, but with command. You speak over it, you do not negotiate with it, you do not pet it, you do not discuss it, you drive it out. Now say this within: I release the fear of poverty. I was born rich in thought. I do not fear criticism. I walk my own path with calm conviction. My health, youth, and power are under divine control. I trust the law, I trust the timing, I trust my voice. Say these not once, but repeatedly. Let them strike like hammers into the walls of your mind until no old idea can stand, for it is not enough to remove fear. You must replace it. Nature does not allow a vacuum. The moment fear is gone, you must fill the space with vision, with desire, with purpose, with truth. Abraham Lincoln was not fearless by nature. He faced depression. He faced criticism. He faced immense pressure, but he pressed forward, not because he felt powerful, but because his purpose outweighed his emotion. His mind was trained, his inner voice was clear, and when others retreated, he advanced. He knew what he stood for, and so must you. Wealth is not for the faint of heart. It belongs to those who master themselves, and to master yourself, you must command the deeper self that listens to thought during sleep. You must speak faith louder than fear. You must let your subconscious hear no ghost but purpose. You are not too late, you are not too far gone. Fear may have ruled your nights until now, but it ends tonight. You are now a man of conscious repetition, of deliberate command, of definite belief, and the subconscious has no choice but to obey the new master, the one who speaks faith without apology. You may not feel brave yet, but say it anyway. Say it nightly. Say it until the fear has no place left to hide. Let these words become your armor. Let them enter your dreams. Let them replace the old worries. Let them build a new rhythm within, a rhythm of power. I have nothing to fear. I move with decision. I live with purpose. I have power over thought, and thought is the builder of all riches. My mind is fertile with belief. I sow only the seeds of wealth. You are not made to tremble. You are made to stand. You are not designed to wish. You are designed to command. The forces of fear are old tenants in the mind. But the moment you become definite, they begin to flee. They cannot hold ground against a man who repeats truth with unwavering belief. Do not let this be another night of old rehearsals. Do not repeat regret. Do not replay failure. Do not retell the lies fear once told you. Replace them. Bury them beneath faith. Starve them of attention. You are not required to feel ready. You are only required to speak truth until it becomes your second nature. Faith is not soft. Faith is iron. It is forged in repetition. It is hardened by resistance. And you, my friend, are forging it nightly. Each sentence you hear, each thought you allow, is another strike of the hammer. Soon the new you will rise, and the old fears will no longer recognize the man you have become. Tonight, the ghosts of fear are cast out. They have no bed here, they have no voice, they have no power. You will no longer drift with them. You will command without them. And you will sleep as one whose mind belongs to wealth, not worry. Rest now, not in weakness, but in strength. Let this message continue its silent work beneath your surface, and when you rise, do so as one whose fears are buried beneath the footsteps of belief. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is a law as certain as gravity, as inescapable as breath. A man may long for riches, but if his identity is built upon scarcity, fear, hesitation, and doubt, then no fortune shall remain with him. Riches flee from a man whose self-image is poor. The most powerful transformation is not from poverty to wealth, it is from weakness to identity. When you adopt the identity of a wealthy man, one who thinks clearly, acts decisively, and believes deeply, you begin to pull your fortune into alignment. You begin to carry the posture of power before power arrives. You must become the type of man who commands riches before they come. This is the mystery the world overlooks. They wait for results to believe. But the great men believe before they see. They speak before they hold. They act before they receive. This is not deception. This is the law of identity. Think now, how does the wealthy man speak? How does he carry himself? How does he respond to difficulty, to delay, to decision? Does he beg? Does he panic? Does he explain himself? Number, he thinks clearly. He moves with purpose. He speaks few words, but every word is heavy with belief. He does not chase, he attracts. I tell you now, you must see yourself as him. You must hear yourself speak as he would. You must breathe, walk, and think in the rhythm of certainty. This is not pretend. This is instruction. The subconscious cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. What it sees repeatedly, it begins to accept. What it accepts, it produces. You may feel poor tonight, but if you repeat the identity of wealth long enough, your mind will begin to shift. Your body will begin to follow. Your circumstances will be compelled to change. The law of harmony demands it. For a man out of alignment with his thoughts cannot remain as he is. Begin now. Visualize yourself already successful. See the home, the office, the books, the clothing, the ledger, the letters, the accounts, the peace. Do not rush the image. Let it become familiar. See yourself walking in clarity. See yourself commanding respect. Let this image replace the old one, piece by piece, word by word, repetition by repetition. Use the mirror each morning to speak identity aloud. Look yourself in the eye and say, I am the man who thinks clearly, acts decisively, and creates wealth. I am calm under pressure, focused on purpose, immune to opinion. I expect riches because I am the type of man who creates them. Then, as night returns, use the inner mirror. Let the image of your future self rise before you. Let him speak. Let him instruct. Let him remind you who you are becoming. Hear him whisper, we do not doubt. We do not delay. We do not apologize. We build. We expect. We rise. You are not what you once were. You are not bound to your past. Identity is not cement, it is clay. And every word you speak tonight reshapes it. Every repetition in the dark builds the man who will walk in the light. You must not merely hear these truths, you must become them. Charles M. Schwab did not possess great fortune because of luck or schooling. He possessed a magnetic identity. He believed in himself with such warmth and clarity that others believed in him instinctively. His manner, his tone, his poise, all stemmed from the deep inner command, I belong in wealth. I am at home among greatness. He thought as the rich man would think. He walked as the rich man would walk. And riches followed, not because he demanded them, but because he matched them. You must now do the same. Think as he would think. Walk as he would walk. Speak only as one who owns his destiny. This identity will feel unfamiliar at first. That is natural. But with repetition, it becomes yours. The costume becomes character. The practice becomes instinct. The echo becomes your voice. And when it does, the world responds differently to you. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. Say these words silently now. Let them enter you. I no longer rehearse weakness. I install wealth. I walk in harmony with success. I live in alignment with riches. My identity is forged in repetition, backed by belief, rooted in decision. You are building an inner magnet. You are tuning your thoughts to wealth. You are shaping the man who must exist for your fortune to arrive. And you are doing it quietly, faithfully, as you drift to sleep. Tonight, you do not lie down as the man the world sees. You lie down as the man who will one day be revealed. You lie down in disguise, but not for long. Your identity is shifting. Your old self is dissolving. Your new self is rising, word by word, night by night, with every repetition. As you sleep, let your future self take your place. Let him breathe through you. Let him speak within you. Let him instruct your mind. And when you rise, rise as one who no longer begs for success, but commands it, because you have become the man who receives it by law. There is a power that multiplies strength when two or more minds meet in perfect understanding. I name this power the Mastermind. It is not a theory. It is a spiritual and mental law, as exact as any found in chemistry or mathematics. When you align your mind in harmony with another of purpose, a third,